This is an interesting move. I don't know if it says more about Wall Street or more about Google.
I think it's a really interesting move. You know, the hot topics down here right now are deals, and I think also gender diversity is a super hot topic. So Google choosing a woman to be the CFO, very powerful. But what a treasure chest of an opportunity for any CFO to take on. There's so much going on at Google right now.
Yeah, I was maybe a little bit snarky, but I looked at the balance sheets of both companies, and Google's got 40% more cash and equivalents than even Morgan Stanley does. So she's going to it's hard to imagine going from Morgan Stanley to a bigger financial powerhouse, but she's done that.
Yes, absolutely. And if you look at the diversity of the opportunities that she has, the different industries that she can play in through Google, I think that's got to be exciting for her, whether it's solar energy, driverless cars. I mean, Google's got their fingers in lots and lots of things. And it looks like with this decision, what Google's saying is we want someone who can drive some growth and some new deals, possibly even some new areas for that business, because she certainly brings a great portfolio to the team.
Yeah, I think deals may be the key word in what you just said. I mean, I know her really as a banker and doing a lot of IPOs back in the dot-com bubble, but a lot of tech deals and tech M&A, it seems to be as much a part of her background as being a chief financial officer.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. You know, one of the elements, and I'm sure Google put a ton of thought into this because they care about culture and they care about the executive team chemistry. And the blog that Patrick Pichette, the outgoing CFO, posted recently, he talked about wanting to make sure he was going to stick around for a period of transition. But that team chemistry that you need as an executive group to be able to weather what's in front of them is really important. It's going to be interesting to see how that works, because the team that's in place now has been together for quite some time, and this is a new element that's going to be take some time probably to take hold. And I think in a community of developers, the biggest fear that developers have is that the CFO is going to tighten the reins of new idea generation or budgets to try new things, right? And I think that's going to be one of the things that I think the Google staff is going to watch very, very carefully, is how actively is she going to be in putting controls in place or not?
Yeah, tightening the reins and Google, those phrases don't go together. I mean, it's a place known for its beneficence to its employees. I mean, you worked like right down the block at LinkedIn. Can you describe better than I can sort of what it's like to be around the Google campus and be around a company that spends so liberally on its employees in every way?
Oh, Corey, I got to tell you, so when we were building LinkedIn 2009, we were physically surrounded by the Google complex. And it almost got to the point where we had to have orientations that covered how to avoid getting run over by the Google buses, which were shuttling hundreds of employees to and from San Francisco. But they are a fierce competitor for talent, and not just talent, world-class talent. And it doesn't seem like they spare much expense on that one. And it's incredibly hard, incredibly frustrating when you're in a new tech company that's trying to establish itself. You don't have the Google brand. You don't have the assets that they have. I mean, at one point, Google, and this is probably true for most startups, makes more in a day or an hour than a lot of these companies make in a year. So it's really hard to compete against that. And I think this is where there's this whole cool factor that they're going to be facing as they continue to grow. Is it a cool leading edge place where I can go as a top-notch developer and really make a difference and do something new and something that's going to be impactful? Or am I going to get lost in the sea of other engineers? And I think that's one of the challenges that Google faces as they get bigger and as the organization continues to grow.
I do wonder, I'm slow to draw, connect dots or draw lessons from, Anthony Noto leaving Goldman and now Ruth Porritt leaving Morgan Stanley to be CFOs of Twitter and Google, respectively. But I do wonder what it means in a world where the top graduates of the top business programs, whether it's, Harvard Business School, Wharton, NYU, leaving to go, the great desire was once to go to Wall Street. The great engineers once wanted to go work for government and work on the nuclear program, and now they all want to go to Mountain View and work for Google.
Well, it is still the Wild West. I mean, this is one of the things that I think you appreciate, and I've been living out here, fortunately, for about 20-plus years. there's still this sense of freshness, excitement, that there's still tons of new opportunity and a chance to make something different. And I think what's different about moving from an investment bank, a very reputable investment bank where I'm sure the compensation was great, is to be able to come out and actually put your hands in the garden and help build something really, really special that can fundamentally change the technology landscape. And both of those companies, Twitter obviously is proving that they can do it, and Google has proven it again. Yeah. And now it's going to see, is there more space for that? And that's just got to be attractive for Ruth to be able to come out here and do that.